Come on.
Good morning. I'm James Harvey and welcome to
You know
Time
what?
TV, where all the best guests join to create a memorable show for you. Today we'll be talking about some of the top headlines from 1971. We will be joined by two very special guest performances, as well as interviewing one of the most significant and celebrated sports figures of the 20th century, Muhammad Ali. There was no link.
I was scared of dentists and the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. Oh, all my friends, I'm turning green. You're the magician's assistant in a dream.
Welcome Muhammad Ali to the show.
How's it going? Hey!
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good to be here.
Yeah. All right, well, it's great having you here. How are you?
Good, really good.
Oh, excellent. We're intrigued to hear about how the amazing events that have happened throughout your career and lifetime.
I mean, I've got a big career, so where do we begin?
Oh, well, we'll start with, like, what's your greatest achievement throughout your career, in your opinion?
Again, there's like so many great achievements I've had. You know, like I've had the Presidential Medal of Honor. I've also had the Presidential Medal of Freedom as well. I was also brought into the Hall of Fame, Boxing Hall of Fame.
Oh, well, so many people know who you are and what you do, but may not be aware of your personal life, but in particular roots. Can you tell us about
that? Yeah, so like, is that going back to like my great-grandfather?
Sorry, what?
So I go back to my great-grandfather?
No,
that kind of roots, or?
Before you go into this question, we're just going to introduce to the audience Muhammad Ali with a little insight to the king of boxing with a short documentary of the man himself.
You know what? I found Muhammad Ali to be one of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my life. And to put him as a boxer would be an insult. The greatest boxer, give that to some boxer.
Muhammad Ali is responsible for some of the most legendary moments in the ring. His incomparable work ethic, revolutionary techniques, and fearlessness towards standing up for his beliefs all contribute to the legend that is Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali was one of the greatest human beings that I've ever met in my life and that other people have ever met.
Muhammad Ali touches countless lives with his unwavering spirit. He is not only a monumental athlete, but also a humanitarian and global citizen. The legend of Muhammad Ali goes far beyond the boxing ring. Ali was an innovative strategist, introducing new techniques to the art of fighting. His groundbreaking approach had never been seen before.
If you met Muhammad Ali and you would be a reporter, after meeting him, you'd be a better reporter. You'd be a better actor, a better athlete. You'd be a better doctor. Even lawyers who met him became better because he brought out something called greatness in everyone.
I have a great insight on, I just don't see the audience. Every camera, I see millions of people. Like the Frazier fight was watched by 1,000 million people, which is 5 times the population of everybody in the United States. Just a picture arena with 1 million people. I imagine you couldn't see them all. And just think about 100 million and 1,000 million. And all those people and everything, that makes me nervous. Just the idea of me just being a humble fellow from Kentucky, got lucky in sports.
Muhammad brought an extraordinary speed and grace to his sport. Whilst his charm and wit changed what the public expected of a boxer, his accomplishments in the ring are stuff of legends. 2 fights with Sonny Liston, where he proclaimed himself the greatest, proved he was. 3 epic wars with Joe Frazier, the stunning victory over George Foreman in the Rumble in the Jungle, and the dethroning of Leon Sparks that led to Ali becoming the heavyweight champion for an unprecedented 3rd time. In 1984, Muhammad Ali publicly announced that he had Parkinson's disease, a digressive neurological condition. Following his diagnosis, he created and raised funds for the Muhammad Ali Parkinson Center in Phoenix, Arizona.
I described him as truly beautiful. And when I met him for the first time and saw his face, I thought a lot of girls were just putting me down because they said, "Oh, he's beautiful." When I met him, for a fact, he was beautiful.
The audience have a good understanding of who he is. We're going to go back to the question of, like, because people now know who you are and what you do, but many aren't aware of your personal life and, in particular, your roots. Can we go back to that question?
Yeah, no problem. So as I said, my great-grandfather was called Abe, Abe Grady, Irishman. He was a farmer who immigrated from the United States, settled in Kentucky, and he also married a free slave, which was actually which is one of the great-grandchildren, which was my mother, Odessa Lee Grady Clay.
Oh, interesting. So we know you was originally named in honor of a white abolitionist, but what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, my father is called Cassius Marcel Clay, so that's where that name comes from. He was also a farmer, and he was also a anti-slavery crusader back in the day as well, so it's quite, deep and meaningful. He also helped free 40 slaves, which is also a great achievement during his lifetime. He also my second cousin, Senator Henry Clay, he also edited a anti-slavery newspaper commanding troops for the Mexican-American War and served as a minister to Russia under President Abe Lincoln.
Obviously, slavery is a part of your history, but how has this influenced you in your life in general?
Well, I'd say it gave me interest, to try and be involved in various movements in America, during my time for justice, on war and racism. I'd say also in your struggle to freedom, justice and equality, I am with you. That came from Louisiana, because I cannot remain silent while my own people, as I grew up with them, were kicked down. I'd go to school, they'd be beaten down, stomped, kicked, in the streets. Yeah. It wasn't right. So I had to, do something with my voice and speak up, because we just wanted freedom, justice, and equal housing like every other person in America at that time.
Yeah, it's really impressive. But so, well, I can see your passion to fight in the boxing ring. However, is it your passion to fight for your political views just as big?
Yeah, I can see. As I said, I'm very outspoken about my views on racism. I'm a Democrat. I also support people, you know, like Jim Carrey, and also Jim Carter. Sorry, not Jim Carrey. Jim Carter.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's a rather different man.
He's very funny, but different story that.
Yeah. So you say you're a Democrat, but how does that fit into your religious beliefs?
Well, you know, I was brought up in a Baptist household, so that was kind of what I grew up with in the 60s. But later on in life, as you know by now, I've converted to Islam. You know, after learning about Malcolm X and what he did, and he was kind of an inspiration to become a member of the Islamic sector. So that's what I am now.
Well, is this because of you changing your name from Cassius Marcel Clay to Muhammad Ali?
Yeah, well, I think it's because my father, you know, Cassius Clay is a slave name, which I didn't want to have because, you know, fighting for the rights. And then, like, people were like, oh, it's still a slave name. So I thought I'd change it because Muhammad Ali means, it's a free name, and it also means to be beloved by God. And I assist people use it when they speak to me because, you know, I don't want to be known as, you know, someone who was once a slave. That name isn't, you know, me and what I was. So
yeah, it's understandable. You don't want to use that as almost like a brand name when it goes completely against what you need. Well, now Mohammed, talking more on your passion to fight in the boxing ring, where did this all begin?
Well, it was when I was 12, and it was all by fate, as most stories are. My bike was stolen as a kid, and I told a police officer. I think his name was Joe. I think Joe Martin. Joe Martin was his name. I still remember. That's how deep it was. And I said that way to beat up the thief. And he said, well, you better learn how to fight, start challenging people. He responded back to me, and that's when it all started, and I kind of, like, you know, started to learn from there.
That's fascinating. Well, throughout your career of being a boxer, was there anything you didn't enjoy as much?
To be honest, I hated every minute of training, because I just wanted to fight people, not just, you know, learn how to box properly and different techniques. I just wanted to fight people, really.
Well, it's funny you've mentioned that, because we brought something especially in for you. We've got some boxing gloves in hope that you'd show us some of your training and boxing techniques.
Yeah, sure. Have you got some pads?
I've got pads as well, yeah.
Have you actually? Wow,
yeah.
This is great, this. Yeah. Do you want to, am I going to shout to you? Or
we'll go like a 1-2, upper right, then left hook, then a duck, and we'll run through that a few times.
Yeah.
Just give it.
Oh, sorry, I'll tie myself up. I got it.
Go on.
There we go. Right, so what are you doing here?
Yeah, 1-2.
So 1-2. Yeah.
Then hook, and then hook,
and then duck.
Yeah. And then the same routine again.
Sorry, jeez, I just got caught off guard there. You ready?
Yeah.
Do you want to have a go on the pads or?
Go on, let's switch it around.
Switch it up. You know, you might as well, since you're training with, you know, one of the greats.
If you call things out for me, and then I'll.
Yeah, no problem. Do you have to put these gloves on?
Yeah. You're supposed to have wraps as well, or?
Yeah, mainly you do, but you know, just because you know you just.
No, I don't think the team brought them in.
I don't think they brought them in.
Go on.
But it's okay. Right, so we'll just start off with the basic 1-2. Yeah, that's perfect. Go again. Wow, you got a lot of power there. Do you want to give me 2 hooks? There we go, 2 uppercuts. There we go. Right, ready for some combos?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so give me a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 hook. There we go. Give me again. Okay, 1-2 uppercut. There we go. Same again. Look at that. Almost a pro already. Jeez. Right, I want you to give me a 1-2. I'm going to swing at you, yeah?
All right.
Okay, so duck. There we go. Again, same again. Whew, almost nipped you there.
Oh.
Right, okay, give me a 1-2, 1-2 uppercut jab.
Right.
1-2 uppercut. That was a hook, but okay. Right, so 1-2. 1-2 uppercut jab. There we go.
I think that's all we have time for. Now we're going to go over to Sam with the news.
Our top story of heavyweight champion Joe Frazier fighting Muhammad Ali for the heavyweight title in the fight of the century. British car maker Rolls-Royce declared itself bankrupt, the opening of Walt Disney World in Bay Lake, Florida, and cigarette advertisements banned on television. British car making Rolls-Royce declared itself bankrupt. Its problems were due to another troublesome engine. The RB211, the technology gap, provided two greats for Rolls, which later combined as a lack of support from government, which was later on evaluated with the company overspent, overrun on development. By early 1971, it was out of cash and the lenders pulled the plug. Our next headline, the opening of Walt Disney World in Bay Lake, Florida on October the 1st, with around 10,000 visitors converged to witness the grand opening of Walt Disney World. After 7 years of planning, the Magic Kingdom encompassed approximately 107 acres and about 5,500 cast members. Resort planned to schedule the opening in October in the hopes that established crowds would be small and unlike Disneyland's chaotic grand opening day. Even official dedications and other media events were held off until later in the month so as to make sure everything ran smoothly. Now, over to George Hopkins with our On the Street report.
I'm stood outside Madison Square Garden, New York City, where the fight of the century has just taken place between WBC and WBA heavyweight champion Joe Frazier and Ring Magazine heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali, held this evening, Monday, the 8th of March, 1971. Thousands of fans gathered to watch, resulting in Frazier winning with a total of 15 rounds via unanimous decision. This was announced the first that the two undefeated boxers fought each other for the heavyweight title. Ali dominating the first 3 rounds, peppering the shorter Frazier with rapier-like jabs that raised welts on the champion's face. Yet this didn't last long when Frazier began to dominate in the 4th round, catching Ali with surprise hooks, which evaluated with the winning of the heavyweight champion title. However, the aftermath of this, Ali on his part refused to publicly admit his defeat and sought to define the outcome in the public's mind as a white man's decision.
Thank you, Georgia. Now the Public Health Cigarette Smoking Act, which was introduced into Congress in 1969, yet was not until April 1, 1970, when US President Richard Nixon signed it into law. The actual cigarette advertisement ban did not come into force until January 2, 1971, as per a compromise that allowed broadcasters to air these commercials during their telecasts of college football bowl games on New Year's Day. The last cigarette ad on the US television advertising Virginia Slims was carried in the last possible legal minute at 11:59 p.m. that evening on NBC's To The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. Back to the studio with James Harvey. See you soon.
Thank you, Sam. Now Mohammed, back to you and your amazing journey of becoming a boxer. From watching that On the Street report, can you tell us more about the fight of the century?
Fight of the century? Well, after being unable to box, due to my conviction of supposedly draft dodging, I was unable to meet Frazier in the ring, as you know. But yeah, it was a very close fight. It was the first loss in my professional career as a boxer. Yeah. So it kind of hurt me deeply.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't worry with your record of 56 wins out of a total of 61 fights. With that, what would you say would be your most memorable fight in the ring?
I'd say it'd have to be October 30th, 1974. Still remember it like it was yesterday. It was me and George Foreman. It was Rumble in the Jungle. I don't know if you watched it. That fight was legendary. It's known as one of the greatest sporting boxing histories. One of the greatest upsets in sporting history.
Yeah. Well, I bet, but because of your talent, this resulted in you becoming the youngest boxer, well, age 22, to ever take the title of a reigning heavyweight champion. Yeah. In 1965.
Yeah, it really was. I believe that is true.
You know what? There's one of many achievements throughout your life. I mean, the Summer Olympics of 1960, you won gold medal in the light heavyweight division, and you were named Fighter of the Year by Ring Magazine, more times than any other fighter, and you clearly made a difference to the boxing world. Was this a goal?
Well, yeah, because I didn't really get into the boxing industry just to be like your average, boxer coming in just to basically box. I'd come from my own agenda. I became a boxer, to be the Fighter of the Year, Fighter of the Century, King of Boxing, those kind of quotes being thrown around by my name, because I wanted to be legendary.
Yeah, you're in it to win it, not.
Yeah. I just wanted the world to know my name, Muhammad Ali. Yeah. As a boxer, a politician, someone who helped. Yeah. Like kind of my father did, freeing slaves, just kind of like helping people progress.
I guess that follows through with your you pushing your name out there with your boxing. That really pushed your political agenda also. You it brought your brand into the limelight. I think those two things really help each other.
Yeah.
So, well, we know a lot about Muhammad Ali and your boxing, but what do we know about you? What do we know about you outside of the ring? Like, is there anything you like to enjoy as well as your boxing?
Well, as I said, I like to fight for rights for my people, but I've also devoted my life to be a great humanitarian work. You know, putting my name into very peaceful and very very world peace kind of movements. You know, to try and help not just my people in general, but everyone, like the whole world, on the same kind of wavelength. And yeah, that's
Is this like as well as your boxing?
Yeah, it's all my boxing. Yeah, I've always been interested in being involved with many initiatives. Like as I said, I try and help where I can. You know, with my name, trying to push other things forward than just boxing and my career.
Amazing. But well, what about your family? I believe you've got like nine children, 7 daughters and 2 sons. How are they?
Yeah, that is correct. They're very beautiful. I love all of them, each and every one of them. I do love them all. Yeah. But yeah.
But are they they're to 4 different wives, I believe. What on earth has happened there?
I think that's a very it's a hard question, but in a nutshell, it'd have to be, you know, you kind of fall in love with someone that you starstruck, and that kind of just fizzled out. I think that's happened quite a bit, and also, as I said, like with a lot of in my career, it kind of you know, I had to focus on that more than, you know, it's bad to say, but my wife and kids, I had to focus on my boxing agenda and also my world peace agenda, and also just other things than just that. So I think that's what happened.
Well, we'll be right back after this advert.
I like a proper nice brew. It's proper great, proper Yorkshire, proper love it. Proper brew.
No, I do not want to buy your supplies. I do love a good cup of tea, me. That's why I go for Twinings.
Well, welcome back. We're still here with Muhammad Ali, and now we're going to be talking about his opinions from coming from a freedom perspective and going then into Islam. Do you feel that if you were, would you have followed like the trend of like veganism and saving the planet? Because I feel like that really does follow on from if you free the people, then free the planet of everything that people have done to them so far.
So you're trying to say like, am I also like a vegan basically then? Trying to say that I'm trying to push? Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I don't I'm not like an official vegan, but I don't tend to eat meat that much. You know, with my diet for boxing, it was kind of just like it was very like vegetable based and very just trying to stay healthy and lean, and also if that helps the planet, you know, save and keep it alive to keep other generations, like, you know, got so many kids and grandkids, you know, because they want to see the world and how peaceful and lovely it is. So
yeah, if everyone was to follow your path, we wouldn't have the same obesity problem in America that we have right now.
Yeah.
But going back to the fight with George Foreman, that is the greatest sporting photo of all time, with you standing, fist raised above George when he's on the floor.
Yeah.
How does that photo make you feel?
When I see it, it's always funny because obviously as soon as I won, I was just like in like a trance.
Yeah.
But like looking back at the picture, I looked like I was ready to like just kill him on that boxing stage.
I'm not sure that quite fits in with the Islamic.
I know, it didn't really fit in, but like back then, like before I was a dedicated member of the community. Back then it probably would be, but now it looks like I'm very aggressive, but now I'm very peaceful.
Do you have, like many boxing fans have that photo up within their households? Do you have that? Do you have that photo?
I don't, but I know that it is somewhere in the house. It's not put up, but it is somewhere in the house.
Yeah. I'm sure your kids will have it up somewhere.
Yeah.
Any of them? I'm assuming some of them are old enough. They've moved out now by now.
Yeah. My oldest. She's moved out now. She's in her own house. I helped her move out. I think a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So with you, because you've got 9 daughters and 2 sons, are you hoping that those 2 sons will follow in your footsteps, or is that not something that you...
Footsteps as in like my beliefs and stuff,
well,
yeah.
Your beliefs in... Let's talk about your beliefs first and then go on to your career after.
Yeah.
Do you want, like... Have you brought them up in a... to follow the... your Islamic path?
I have in a way, but I've also let them speak freely about what they want to do, because obviously not everyone wants to... You know, I don't want to push it on my kids to do that, because I want to find their own path. But yeah, I have like told them, and they've sat down, we've talked about, you know, the whole beliefs and everything, and they do agree with it, so yeah.
And then would you want your sons, because your boxing came from a place of strife, and at a time where you felt that there was like a vast inequality within society, but so that's where your fighting passion came from. But would you want your sons to go down the same path you did within boxing?
I'd say only if they wanted to. I wouldn't push boxing on them, because I say that was at the time, that was something I needed to do for myself and to, you know, make me who I am and have my voice who I am now. But I think no, they wouldn't have to go into boxing. It's up to them if they wanted to pursue that career. But no, I'd say they could be whatever they wanted to be. They could be a politician. It could be anything. It's really up to them. Yeah.
Well, I feel if you've seen the 2016 film Creed, it's to relate to that. I feel that you would your sons they'd almost have to make a name for themselves, otherwise they'd be piggybacking off of your name, because of you're the most famous boxer of all time. So. Yeah, well, I think it's happened in the past with like other names, but I think really it's just down to how well the boxer is. Like if it's a bad boxer, like they're bad at boxing, they're just taking their father's name. I think it's just up to them, really. Yeah. Now, well, we're going to welcome our final performance now. The final performance of the show, Donya, and she'll be singing Titanium.
You shout it out, but I can't hear a word you say. I'm talking loud, not saying much. I'm criticized, but all your bullets ricochet. Shoot me down, but I get up. Nothing to lose. Far away, ricochet. Take your aim. Far away. Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Cut me down, but it's you whoever the to fall goes down, haunted love. Raise your voice, sticks and stones may break my bones. I'm talking loud, not saying much, not saying